Welcome back to the Aldo Sweet Road to the Show here on MLB The Show 16. This is going to be episode 14 of the series, and in this episode we will be changing our batting stance as we are changing it to Ryan Howard, just leaving everything on default, as we've got a pinch hit opportunity here against the Toronto Blue Jays. Here in the top half of the 8th inning, it's tied at 5. 1-1 count, here it comes, as Aldo's going to take this one into the right center field gap, as that's over the fence. Aldo Sweet home run connects on that one. That's a solo shot, pinch hit home run, 398 feet. He'll take that one as the Cleveland Indians are not able to come out on top despite the pinch hit home run. They lose to the Blue Jays 7-6. Aldo does pick up a home run though, as he's hitting .213 now on the season. Here in the top half of the first in a start against the Blue Jays. 2-1 count. 2 outs, nobody on, as Aldo's taking this one up the middle past the diving glove of the second baseman. I'm not sure who that is. It might be Devin. I don't think it is Devin Travis, though. He doesn't look like Devin Travis. So here, top half of the fourth, single in the first. 1 for 1 on the day so far. Nobody on, nobody out. 0-0 count. Here comes the first pitch of the AB, as Sweet's taking this one into the left center field gap. Pompey is going to have some trouble with it as he trips over his own feet, rolls up against the wall. Sweet's rounding second, heading into third. The throw is into the cutoff man. They throw to the plate despite Sweet holding up at third, and the throw gets past the catcher. Pitcher isn't there to back up, so Sweet's able to score, and they count it as a home run for whatever reason, as that's an inside-the-park home run for Aldo Sweet, his 4th homer on the season, and the Indians beat the Blue Jays by a score of 7-3, as Aldo goes 2 for 5 on the day. And now, moving on to a series against the Kansas City Royals at home in Cleveland. We're down 8-3, bases loaded. Aldo at the plate, some showtime hitting, as Sweet takes this one into right field, lands just in front of, I'm not sure who that is in right field, but 2 runs are able to score, the second one just barely getting by the tag, as that's a 2 RBI single for Aldo Sweet. That's the only thing he does that game, though, as we do end up losing 14-6. Aldo goes 1 for 5 with a 2 RBI single. So now moving on to a series against the Mets here in the field. Ground ball to shortstop. Aldo playing there as they're resting Lindor as he turns a 6-4-3 double play. That's Sweet to Holt to, I believe that was Mark Reynolds at first. And now it's an 0 for 1 on the day so far. Bottom half of the third, I think it is. Runner on the corners. Here comes the pitch. And Aldo taking that to shortstop, but they're making a diving play and just tossing over to second to end the inning. As Aldo goes hitless on that day, 0 for 3. The Indians do win 2-0. There's a lot of that as, once again, we're still slumping. As, I don't know what it is. There's just a lot of, I do know what a sum of the struggle is. You can count the struggle towards as we knock this one out of the park against the Los Angeles Angels. I believe that's Jared Weaver on the mound too, so there's probably like a 76-mile-per-hour fastball, like we're still playing 12-year-old Little League here. But that's 397 feet over the right field fence. That's his 5th home run of the season as he comes up later on 1 for 3. And like I was saying, I do know what some of the struggle is, and that would be that I just can't, for the life of me, hold off on big breaking balls and curve and changeups in this game. And even though, like, well, my problem, I can't hold off on curveballs because it's like, oh, it's gonna hang, and then it drops from, like, my chest to, like, my feet. And I'm just like, well, it didn't hang, and I just swung at a pitch on my feet as Aldo goes 2 for 4 on the day, and we drop the game 5-3. Comes up here in the first inning, hitting third on the day, so there's nobody on, a 2-out, 3-0 count. Here comes the pitch, as Sweet takes this one over the head of the shortstop. That's going to get into the left center field gap up against the wall. Sweet's going to head into second base, but he's not stopping there. Throw to the cutoff man. Sweet into third. Slide, avoid the non-tag that never was applied. So he gets a triple there. So like I was saying, the curveball, I think it's going to drop and like be right in the just a hanging curveball, and for some reason in this game, like everybody has a ridiculous curveball, so it goes from like my head to like my feet, and I'm just like, well, that's not even... So I always swing through those, and I just look stupid. And then with changeups, this has always been a problem of mine in like every MLB game ever. I just can't recognize changeups, specifically low changeups. they just look so much like fastballs coming in, which is why they're so effective to begin with in the first place. But they just work like super well against me for whatever reason. Like if you want to strike me out, just throw 3 straight changeups like low and you'll get me. Because it's just, I don't know, it's like my mind doesn't like recognize that that's a slow pitch coming in, and it's probably going to be low and out of the strike zone, so I probably shouldn't swing at it. But, well, I always end up swinging at it, and a lot of the times these pitchers I end up facing are throwing pitches that are like right on the black. Like they are just, like these pitchers have like pinpoint precision, like they're, like every pitcher I face is Greg Maddux or something, and I'm facing like the Astros 5th starter or something like that. And it's pretty frustrating because they'll throw like 3 straight changeups like down and away on the black, and the ump will be like, strike 3, and then I don't know, I have to swing at it, because if I don't, then... But I can never make contact with those pitches because I always swing like way too early, because they're, I don't know, 75-mile-per-hour changeups, and I'm used to seeing like 95-mile-per-hour fastballs. And I don't know, I can't adjust to that quick enough. As you see, Aldo picks up a base hit there. I'm sorry not doing too much play-by-play this episode, but I just felt like I needed to address the fact that I suck. As Aldo makes a play here in second base, dives, flips over to second, but Lindor can't get the other runner at first base, so I believe it's Alex Presley. And now, bottom half of the 14th, as nobody can get a hit, still tied at 2. Aldo ranges to his left on the run, tosses over to first, and retires the runner, as that would be all that would happen in this game, as Aldo goes 1-for-8 at the plate. 3-2 Cleveland lead, as we do end up winning, but Aldo goes 1-for-8, as he's 2-for-12 in this series so far, with the highlight being 2 strikeouts, apparently. So top half of the first, 2 out, nobody on, as Aldo's taking this one up the middle for a single. Aldo's Sweet picks up a base hit there, trying his hardest to get base hits. It's super frustrating playing this at some points, because it's awesome to play this game. I really enjoy this game, but it's just like when you hop in a row to the show and it's just like 4 straight games where you go 0-for-5, it can get frustrating. Especially when like all of those are at bats are just like, oh, I knew I shouldn't have swung at that, and just stuff like that, and it's frustrating. As Aldo picks up his second base of the day, as he has a multi-hit game. He's 2-for-2 so far, so top half of the 6th, tied at 1, nobody on, nobody out. Here comes the first pitch of the at-bat, as Sweet's taking it back up the middle for a single. That's going to be 3 singles on the day, as he's 3-for-3, but that's going to be all that happened in this game. As, well, all that happened, I'll take 3-for-4 on the day with 3 singles. If I could do nothing but singles for the rest of the season, I would be happy, because I'm tired of going 0-for-5, man, as we are currently leaving off this episode at the start of June 2017, where we have the series against Minnesota, Tampa Bay, Boston, Minnesota, Detroit, Oakland, Chicago, Atlanta, and then New York Yankees. As the Indians are currently sitting at 23-30 on the season, which is 4th in the AL Central, so not exactly in a playoff spot, but we're only in June, so there is time to turn things around. We're not even at the All-Star break yet. And Aldo is hitting 2-for-19. What am I saying? He's hitting .219 with 5 home runs and 16 RBI in 114 at-bats. And as you can see on the screen now, there's just stuff that's being changed. Stuff that's being, that's the attribute upgrade. There's just stuff that's going down because, well, I'm slumping, and I don't get enough attribute points to upgrade them to keep them not from downgrading. So it's kind of frustrating, and even more so frustrating when you see stuff like that. But good news, everyone! As Aldo Sweet is going to be the leadoff hitter, apparently, against right-handed pitchers and left-handed pitchers starting at second base. They have finally come to their senses, as they're starting me at second, and they move to Brock Holt to the starting right field position, because Brock Holt can play literally anywhere. And that's going to wrap things up here for episode 14 of the Aldo Sweet Road to the Show. I've been your host, Jersey Born, and I'm saying goodbye.